Welcome to Outside Reviews, and today we have the 2024 Chevy Silverado 2500 High Country with the Duramax package. That's right, we're back doing reviews for 2024s, and we're doing it in big fashion. Now, taking a look at this vehicle right off the bat is the front end. What an amazing looking front end. It's actually my favorite looking truck in the industry. I love how the air intake right there, a functional air intake, is the way it looks. Everything nice and square, everything's big and proud. And with the high country trim, which we have right now, lots of chrome. Chevy. That being said, if you guys don't know what that's about, go check out some Mercedes-Benz reviews and you'll get it.
Mercedes.
But we got also the blacked out look here. I love blackout look on a white truck. I think it looks absolutely amazing. As a matter of fact, I would prefer everything to be black and white right here. But with the chrome tow hooks, I could see those being scratched a little bit, so I'm guessing if you're getting high country, money is not a problem, because this truck in Canada is $113,000. In the US, about $87,000. Now let's take a look under the trunk of this thing. We have 6.6 liter V8 turbocharged turbo diesel, and basically puts out 470 horsepower and 975 pounds-feet of torque. That's 25 horsepower more than last year and 65 pounds-feet of torque more than the previous year. If you're interested, it goes 0 to 60 about 7.7 seconds. Not bad, eh? Now let's take a look at the side profile. Here's the beast from the side profile. You can tell, I mean, I'm not that big, a little bit, broader than usual, than the average person, but I'm definitely 5'9", so I am average height. And this thing towers over me. It's 2 meters tall, 2.02 meters tall, if you can believe it, which, you know what that means. You're not going into the underground parkings. They're not gonna fit. We tried. Most parkings we saw are 1.98 meters or 1.95 meters. So this is just above. It's not gonna fit. And that's okay. That's just part of living the big, large country lifestyle. Speaking of which, we have some big, beefy Goodyear Wrangler 20-inch wheels here. Chrome look as it comes with the high country. We have a nice large mirror which can extend outwards and it can fold back in no matter what you do. If you lock it, it automatically folds in. Unlock it, it automatically folds out. Very convenient. You can pretty much see everything around the truck with these. That being said, to get in, power floorboards. So these power steps definitely come in handy to get in this vehicle, especially if you are shorter than I am. And they automatically retract. As far as everything else in the back end, we have the side step here to access the bed of the truck. Nothing new from Chevy, from GM as a whole, but Ford, interestingly enough, are now introducing these with their 250. So obviously it's something that everybody loves, including me. Let's go check out the back. Tailgate time. Now, everything looks familiar to here if you've been following GM vehicles, or if you have a GM in the last few years. This is the Multi-Pro tailgate. Many configurations, and it helps you get in with ease. Bottom button, slam it down, regular tailgate. Top button, pretty easy to feel as long as you don't have gloves on. And then you got your step. So you got a step here, you got a side step here on the side of the bumpers. And you also have your side ones as well. So many access, and you need that if you're going to be working around with this truck quite a bit. I need to be able to access the bed of the truck. We can also have Bluetooth speaker over here if you want to spoil yourself and have some tailgate parties. So as far as, and you have a handrail right up here. Make sure you collapse this before you bring your tailgate up, because it won't go up. It won't collapse once the tailgate is up, so you have to bring it back down and such. We have just a regular outlets here, 120 volt outlet, and over here we have trailer outlets for your fifth wheel. So you already have a fifth wheel attachment ready, bedded truck here. So you just have to find the attachment that fits the GM trucks, and then you'll be good to go. Just to be noted, I mean, some other trucks like Ford, they definitely have more outlets and more power and all that stuff. It just depends what you're looking for, right? This is another configuration you can have. So if you have extra long items, you can just have it this way, and then you put this back up to have a backstop. So options is always great to have, because you never know what kind of work you're going to turn up around, even with this high country, which again, I mean, this is a work truck, but it's kind of a statement slash work truck, because it is pretty luxurious, as we'll be able to tell inside. Now, towing. It's about 19,000 pounds of towing. Pretty good, not best in class, but it's pretty darn good. Side note, if you get your work truck, this variant, but with just a work truck bare bones, 22,000 pounds. And the 3500 series does not have a bigger interior inside the cabs, so basically it all depends on payload. I believe this one is about 2,900 pounds payload. I'll correct myself right down here if I'm wrong, but you do get more payload if you go with 3500 series. So like I said, interior won't change, and we'll take a look at that right now. All right, let's start with the back seat. Right here in the back seat. Ample room. I mean, I couldn't ask for more room. Again, 5'9", but the amount of leg space I have and headroom is definitely plenty to spare. You got heated outboard seats and USB-A, USB-C. We have our cup holders. We have our secret storage. And as far as the seats, you know, they are a bit rigid in the back. Not a lot of padding there, but not bad, pretty comfortable. And the two-tone leather looks pretty nice. Oh, side note, these LED lights could be a little bit brighter at night. I mean, they don't really illuminate enough if you're looking to find something that you may have misplaced. Shout out to my 6-year-old kid who loses a lot of things. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty nice. We got some more cup holder space right here. And the wood trim on the door, double stitching, two-tone color, perforated seats. Everything's pretty nice and spacious. I like it, but I want to see the front. All right, here we are, captain's chair. Basically, this is very nice. Everything about this truck is very, very nice. As soon as you get in, you can feel that this is a trim above the rest. A little bit of piano black use, but not a big deal. You definitely have some chrome as well. So chrome and piano black, maybe not the best, but I mean, there's some wood surfaces in the door and on the upper glove box here. So yeah, it's a nice blend, especially the two-tone leather seats. Again, GM is known to have rigid seats. That doesn't change with this truck. The seats are more rigid than other vehicles that we've tested. However, I find them supportive enough. I do have back problems from my time in the service, so I mean, I get cortisone shots for that, right? So that takes care of the problem. But yes, I mean, but I find it supportive that it's actually comfortable. So I mean, comment below what you guys think about the GMCs. I actually find them nice, firm, and comfortable, and very supportive. So I like it. I like the seats. I like the comfort. Like I said, I like pretty much everything about this truck. The screens, I mean, starting off with a heads-up display right here. Nice, bright, and I can see it with polarized sunglasses. Perfect. That's not always the case. Not every heads-up display shows up just as crisp with polarized sunglasses, and this one does, and it's 15-inch, so it's a pretty big heads-up display, and it gives you just the information you want. The 11-inch digital gauge cluster is pretty nice. Gives me all the information I possibly need. Very customizable. As far as fuel economy here, we've had about 16.5 liters per 100 kilometers is what we averaged before we started filming, and filming requires the truck being on idle for long amounts of time, so not the best bet, not the best thing for fuel economy. But like I said, 16.5 liters per 100 kilometers, which if I look it up, it's going to be about 14.3 miles per gallon for you folks in the US. Now you can get up to 18 miles per gallon on the highway, or 13 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway. So that's what diesel is known for, right? Good fuel economy. So, you know, the EPA doesn't do fuel economy like, you know, highway, combine, and all that stuff. But just be aware that I drive fairly aggressive. Most of my driving is either up here in the mountains, in the city, or in the highway. So it's definitely a combination of those three: country roads, mountain roads, and highway. So I get 16.5 liters per 100 kilometers, 14.3 miles per gallon. That is very acceptable in my book for a truck this size. Plus, you know, like, everything is great about this truck because it has auto, all-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low, and 2 high. And I used the auto because we had quite a couple of snowstorms this week, and even in the snow, with, you know, this truck, you put it in auto and you have no issues. The handling definitely had 0 issues, and everything worked out fine, which I'm used to having an all-wheel drive car anyways, or SUV, so it's definitely handles great. Where I would make some corrections, but I'm not sure if we can, because this is a work truck, so the suspension is a bit rigid. Now this has the Z71 or Z71 package. If you're in Canada, it's Z. United States, it's Z. So it does have those Rancho shocks, a little bit more for like off-road package, and you know, they're a little bit rigid, and then kick back the back end a little bit when I'm driving these mountain roads here in Quebec, which have intended and unintended speed bumps. It's very bumpy roads, so that's something to keep in mind. You're not gonna have the comfort that adaptive dampers does on a 1500 or air suspension does from Ram. It's just not gonna be the case. So expect that. They need it to be rigid. It's a work truck. That's why it's got payload the way it does, and that it's meant to be hauling, and it's meant to be loaded up. So comfort gets sacrificed a little bit. As far as the interface, it has a Google interface built in, which is probably the best standalone interface, but I still prefer to use my Android Auto. That's why I end up using most of the time, even with the Google. So I'm a little bit disappointed that GM is moving away from Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. But this year, the 2024, it definitely has it still built in. So maybe take advantage of that and go get one before they get rid of it. So yeah, I mean, that's where I stand. It's got a wireless charger here, plenty of cup holders, plenty of storage over here as well. It's pretty comfortable, and that'd be my only takeaway is expect a little bit rougher ride, but it definitely doesn't sacrifice for the handling, and the power is just great with the diesel engine. I think this is the engine to go with. We do have a rear view camera in the mirror, so you can change from the mirror to the camera itself, which I find it pretty nice. Especially sometimes your view is obstructed through the windows and such. So It's actually pretty good. Everything is pretty easy with the big buttons, and the touchscreen is very responsive. So overall, like I said, I like everything about this truck. I like how it rides. A little bit rigid, a little bit bouncy. Bounces like a truck. What?
Head dumps like a truck. Guys like what?
You know? Two-tone leather, very luxurious. So that's my take on it. So stay tuned. Don't forget to like, subscribe, because we do have some more videos coming next week. We have another pickup truck. I'm not going to spoil which one it is, mainly because sometimes it changes last minute. But if everything goes well, I think it'll be a pretty nice one. And until then, I guess we'll see you later.
You know what they say about guys who drive big trucks, right? Tons of room for all that big hair.